Hello, I'm Faye Barker. This is ITV News London. The Duke of Edinburgh has been remembered today in one of the London boroughs he was so connected with. Prince Philip supported a number of charities and organisations in Greenwich, including the Royal Maritime Museum, of which he was patron. Vincent McAviney reports.
Whilst preparations have begun for the funeral of the Duke of Edinburgh in Windsor, across the capital, one borough will particularly be feeling the loss of his regular support. Perhaps the area of London where the late Prince Philip's legacy is most visible is here in the Royal Borough of Greenwich. You can see the mast of the Cutty Sark. He was instrumental in not only bringing it here, but also restoring it after the 2007 fire. Also the former Royal Naval College, where he himself did training as a naval officer, and the National Maritime Museum, where he was a keen patron.
He was a regular visitor. He was always on call to give advice and ready to attend when it was felt necessary or needed. But if you speak to any of the members of staff, they'll tell you that he knew the collection well, was deeply interested and knowledgeable, but he also had that fantastic personal touch that people have been talking about so much, where he could bring all that experience of his to bear.
Prince Philip, like all the royal family, had many patronages, but he had a special place in his heart for this one, didn't he?
It's that commitment of seeing the thread that ties together the old Royal Naval College, the museum itself here, recalling Britain's fantastic maritime history, and of course the Royal Observatory at the centre of navigation and place finding. And all of those really helping to be tied together by the presence of the Cutty Sark and by his continued observation and interest in what was going on here. This is an important part, not only of British history, but of global history.
The Prince Philip Conservation Gallery is something the Mayor of Greenwich believes is particularly important.
It's a wonderful, wonderful legacy for children and education to learn about how we can conserve this planet of ours, of which he has left for us to take into schools and for school children to visit and for the public to benefit from.
This afternoon, Princess Anne released this photograph of herself with the Duke enjoying the equestrian events at the 2012 Olympics in Greenwich Park. That same year, he was given the freedom of the Royal Borough for his service to it, which will now be greatly missed by its residents. Vincent McAviney, ITV News.
Essex police have released a man arrested on suspicion of the murder and indecent assault of Stuart Lubbock at the home of entertainer Michael Barrymore 20 years ago. The 50-year-old, who's not been named, was arrested last month after police said significant new information had come to light. He's been released under investigation. TV presenter Davina McCall has led tributes to former Big Brother star Nikki Graham, who's died at the age of 38. Davina described Nikki as really the funniest, most bubbly, sweetest girl. She had checked into a private hospital last month for treatment for anorexia after a campaign raised more than £60,000 to help her. And you can find information on support for eating disorders on our website, itvnews.com/London. Police have issued more than 30 COVID fines at a large house party in Mayfair in the early hours of this morning. The organiser faces a £10,000 penalty. Police say as restrictions ease, it's more important than ever to follow the rules. Well, pubs and restaurants are getting ready to reopen across the capital tomorrow. After being closed for months, some hospitality bosses are hopeful the cooler temperatures won't put people off as outdoor dining returns.
We're just getting everything extra celebratory for tomorrow. Yes. People are going to come out, and it's going to be cold tomorrow though, but it's going to be a good day.
The low-budget film Rocks, that was shot in East London, has won a BAFTA.
You smell! Are y'all seeing this? I'm going to be the new Picasso.
The award was for Best Casting. Many of the teenage girls in the film had never acted before, but were discovered by the production team who went into their schools searching for talent. The BAFTAs are in 2 parts this year, and Rocks is up for a further 6 awards tonight. Now let's check the weather. Here's Amanda.
So the weather picture for the next few days is a slightly milder one across the capital. It will be chilly at first, though, with the risk of 1 or 2 showers in places on Monday. These could be a little bit wintry out there, but for most of us from Tuesday onwards, plenty of dry weather coming our way, and temperatures will be feeling a little bit warmer. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. We can see today and indeed the last few days have had that northerly airflow. That's what's been keeping those temperatures below average for the time of year. Now, as we go into Monday, there is a little system working its way eastwards. That's going to bring a spell of wet, potentially wintry weather for a time, but it will be short-lived. And behind that, high pressure starts to build across the south. So as I say, plenty of dry weather from Tuesday onwards, and with a change in wind direction, our temperatures hopefully will be feeling a little bit milder. Now, in the meantime, for the rest of tonight, maybe 1 or 2 showers around, but for most of us, it will be dry. Those skies will clear, and that will allow those temperatures to tumble, falling below freezing in places. So there will be a widespread frost tonight, and that's going to take us into a chilly start today on Monday morning. But there will be some sunshine around at first, though the cloud will increase late morning, and as I say, may just bring a little bit of rain, which could be wintry across northern areas. But for most of us, by the afternoon, we'll see drier conditions out there. A few bright spells and temperatures up to around 8 or 9 degrees.
That's it for now. We're back tomorrow with updates in Good Morning Britain. Until then, bye-bye.